The Beekeeper is out in theaters, new action film from David Ayer, starring Jason Statham, Josh Hutcherson, and Jeremy Irons. The story starts with a scam. An old lady gets her computer infected with ransomware. Scummy guys from a big evil call center call her to fix the problem, manage to get all her passwords. They clear her bank accounts, including one that she runs for a charity foundation, whatever. The lady ends up shooting herself out of guilt. Turns out she was renting a barn to Jason Statham, who is a beekeeper. A literal one. He keeps bees and makes honey. But when he hears about this case, he gets angry, and it turns out he's also another kind of beekeeper. It's a sort of code name for a black ops super secret agent tasked with protecting order and justice. He's retired from that now, but he sort of goes back to his roots to go on this quest of revenge, to get the people responsible and follow the trail of money all the way to the top, to the super scummy character played by Josh Hutcherson, who in the end is sort of like an evil villain mix of Mark Zuckerberg and Hunter Biden. So the film is essentially poor man's John Wick. Much more stupid, much more absurd, much less impressive with the action. And I will put it like this. If the film was more clearly tongue-in-cheek and humorous with its antics, I would probably have enjoyed it a bit more. But throughout the film, I just felt it wants to take itself way more seriously than needed, and that kind of broke that enjoyment, because as a serious action movie, it just fails. The dialogue is awful, especially with the constant bee metaphors, which make no sense, sound stupid as fuck, and also in one instance are just hilariously absurd. What I mean is specifically the FBI agents who are on the case. They're sort of trying to figure out the psychology of Jason Statham, and they come up with a theory. He sees himself as a beekeeper protecting the hive, which is society. Okay, cool. And then they say he goes on this rampage because there's a natural phenomenon where a bee can sometimes become a queen killer and murder the queen. So first of all, which is he? Is a bee, or is he the beekeeper? But then they say that happens when a bee thinks that the queen produced a weak male offspring and therefore needs to be replaced, which is very fitting for what's actually going on in the story. But hilariously, at that point in time, Jason Statham's character does not yet have the information that the audience and the FBI does. So he doesn't know that Josh Hutcherson is the one on top. He doesn't know who that character is, who his mother is, which becomes relevant later on. So if you think about it, it's just a hilarious case of assigning this whole metaphorical meaning to the actions of a character who doesn't even know what they're doing, really. There's also this ridiculous scene where Jeremy Irons explains to Hutcherson who the beekeeper is without actually explaining anything. It's so dumb. And the ultimate cheesy thing is when a goon points a gun at Jason Statham about to kill him, and he asks him to be or not to be, that is the question, to which Jason Statham responds, to be, and detonates a bomb. It is really, really dumb. I also didn't like the neon South Central Los Angeles criminal aesthetic that Ayer is kind of recognizable for. This is the sort of style he also heavily went for with Joker in his attempt at Suicide Squad. I just find it grating and annoying. I think the action is choppy and unimpressive. Statham plays the character a bit like an android pretending to be human, and all of his interactions with other people are very stiff and wooden. The ending is abrupt and sudden and makes you go, what? That's it? I didn't particularly care for the FBI characters. On the plus side, Irons and Hutcherson are both hamming it up and chewing the scenery, so they're fun to watch. And some of the violence that Statham is up to and inflicts to the goons is somewhat entertaining, I will admit that. But overall, I thought it was just a mediocre film. I think if it went for a more obvious comedic tone, it would have been better. But as a serious action film, it feels very much like a we have a John Wick at home situation.